I thank you for staying with us. It is time for newspaper review just after this time out.
All right, Chukwudi Okole Abuja is right here with us for the papers review. Many thanks for joining us, Chukwudi. How you doing?
I'm okay. I think I'm looking forward to the weekend. I think I am. I'm not creaking in the wrong places. Don't let your mind go there. I just want to have a normal rest.
Smile on your face.
Good morning, my dear Yere.
I see the smile on your face. So
Victor.
you should look forward to the weekend.
I like your sartorial outlook. Good morning.
Good morning. Yere.
All right, let's look at what the papers have this morning. We'll begin with the Business NG. And the Business NG has very interesting stories this morning. The lead one says Nigerians lose 6.98 naira on each failed USSD. Above the masthead, El Rufai, I won't contest in 2027, but we must remove oppressors. That's on page 2. Minister sets up a pro panel on Abuja Kaduna train derailment. You can also find that on page 2 of the Business NG. And looking below the major story on the front page of the Business NG this morning, we have Ojulari alleges threats over NNPCL reforms. And finally, ASU to federal government end delayed taxes or face nationwide shutdown. All right, so that's the much I can take from the Business NG. But of course, there are other stories. A copy would do you good. All right, let's look away from the Business NG now and see what the Daily Times has. The Daily Times leads with Chief of Army Staff raises concerns over drug abuse among soldiers in conflict zones. And below the picture story, we have battle for mining site. Officer gunned down as police civil defense clash in Ebonyi. Voter registration meaningless without electoral judicial reforms. That's according to Atiku. Insecurity. G7 states move to curb rising cross-border criminal networks. ADC queries INEC over alleged inflated voters registration figures in Southwest. That's on page 11. And of course, the breaking story in the red strip at the bottom of the front page of the Daily Times this morning is Nigerians to pay more for passports as Nigerian Immigration Service raises fees to 100,000 naira, 200,000 naira. All right, Victor.
All right, thank you, Henry. And I have the blueprint just above the nameplate. NEC launches renewed hope plan to fast-track $1 trillion economy. You can get details of that on page 6. And just below the nameplate, Governor Nasir appoints 58-year-old Sanusi Sami. New Emir of Zuru is on page 9. In business, Access Holdings appoints Innocent Ike, substantive GMD CEO. That's on page 23. And in sports, Bafana coach announces final squad for Super Eagles Cracker. You get details of that on page 32. And what looks like the major headline here, FG has no signed deal with ASU on 2009 agreement. That's according to Alausa, Minister of State Health, says government won't settle for deal not tenable, sustainable. You are wrong, varsity teachers, reply minister. All right. And coming down the line, tension in Niger as troops kill 50 bandits. Criminals flee to Zungeru. Will intensify operations in Katsina, Niger, others. That's credited to the Chief of Army Staff. And the strip on the right, NNPCL under attack, Ojulari tells Pengasan. Union thumbs up ongoing reforms. And the last three at the bottom of the page, Uwasani recalls workers fired by El Rufai, pays 500 million naira salary arrears, is on page 16. Dangote Group, Ethiopia signed agreement to build $2.5 billion fertilizer plant, page 22. Ex-Senate President Saraki's kinsmen celebrate first SAN, National Mosque Imam, is on page 7. And finally, Tinego, FG gifts outstanding Nigerian students cash rewards. You get details of that on page 9. Chukwudin.
It has become the seesaw that became the jigsaw, ASU FG. You know, people will tell you that some complaints run on and on and on. You begin to think whether the contestants are not getting tired of contest. Anyway, at the end of the day, what we want is a return of normality to the citadels, to the institutions concerned. It's always good to talk and talk and talk. I keep saying to myself and whoever cares to listen, if dialogue ends almost all the conflicts in the world, why don't we start it in all earnest in time? The problem with this ASU federal government matter is that anytime they mention it, it's as if they're back to square one, so you don't know what to think anymore. But they can still sort it out. It depends on them. Did El-Rufai say he's not contesting in 2027? But he wants oppressors removed.
Yes.
Who are the oppressors?
Good question.
I didn't come here mischievous this morning, but you know a journalist, the way he thinks. You know, not that he like trouble.
To ask him.
But when trouble happens, we report on it. Now, quickly, he says he doesn't want oppressors to continue. What was the other thing you read? The man who succeeded him, what did he do? He recalled how many people who were sacked by him and paid them 500 million naira salaries. You know? And some people tell you, the man who took over from him has somehow managed to return peace to southern Kaduna. You know? Politicians, you don't understand them. Everybody seems to make their own argument the way it fits them. So we leave them to talk like politicians.
Why did he sack them? Are they the ones are they the teachers, for instance, who couldn't pass basic tests?
Yes, okay, fine. You are saying you might have
you have to put it in perspective.
Yes, you might have had a case against them. But then say, soldier come, soldier go. One governor sack, one governor reinstate. They're all governors. So leave them, they know what they're doing. Okay? I just thought that I had discordant notes somewhere and trust a journalist, you know. You mentioned tension in Niger. As troops kill 50 bandits, criminals flee to Zungeru. Now, we have two issues to deal with here. First of all, bravo to our gallant troops. Good riddance to bad rubbish. But the people are fleeing. You know why? They are afraid that when the soldiers have come and done what they should do to free their lives, they may not have staying power there because duty calls elsewhere. And when they leave, these people might return to torment them. So what we need to plead with our forces to do is to follow up the action and ensure that these men without a conscience do not come to terrorize the people again.
Of course, and you know, to add to that is the alarm by the Chief of Army Staff. I'm sure you saw that over drug abuse among soldiers in conflict zones. That needs to be checked because, I mean, it would not be right to see, you know, soldiers using substances that, you know, can make them act in ways.
The matter is not helped by the superstition we have been carrying from primary school. Say, before soldier go war, they go give him Igbo, make his smoke, and all that, you know. But I'm happy to hear that the CDS, that the Chief of Army Staff is saying, is talking against drug abuse. That means that we were misinformed about soldiers. Take a lesson from little things that drop, you know, like into a circumstance like this.
Yeah, of course.
We thought soldiers must be made abnormal before they will be able to kill at the war.
Normally.
You know?
Anyways, we need to go. The producer says it's almost time. But of course, we must talk about this. Nigerians to pay more for passports. 100,000 naira for the 5-year 32 page, right?
Yeah.
And then 200,000 naira.
They sent you to torment me. No problem.
Not exactly.
The young shall grow. It's not Chooks the boy you guys call me. We'll get older. And
no, but what are your thoughts? Victor, I want to hear your thoughts about it.
Yeah, but fine. The truth is that the price of everything has risen And the passport is not ordinary paper. It's almost like what you used to make the money. The material for doing that does not come ordinarily, does not come cheap.
Victor, why are you quiet?
You are still going to say, does that help us encourage people to buy it? You have to find an equilibrium somewhere. You have to. We have to meet somewhere at the center there. That's what I think, because it sounds a bit on the high side to me.
When I heard about it, my first thought was, how much do a civil servant earn?
Yeah, asked me for my opinion. I don't have my opinion. I can give you facts. I know that some 2 years ago, the 32-page passport was about 26,000 naira, and then it was increased to 35. At that time, I think the 10-year passport was about 50,000 naira. It became 70,000, so 3570. And then from 3570, it became 50,100. And then from 50,100, it became 100, 200. It's become 100, 200 now. So all of these have happened within 2 years.
Yes.
These are the facts. My opinion, well, I don't have one, but this is an identity. It's a national identity, really, which you expect that even the ordinary man should be able to afford.
You're looking for
Can they
subsidy,
afford it at 100, at 200? I don't know.
I think we have to meet somewhere where it can be a little affordable. That's my opinion. It's opinion.
All right. I think we need to leave the conversation at this point. Many thanks, Chukudi. Have a swell weekend. And
You too.
I hope to see you next week, of
Thank
course. So we'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll get into our conversation. Stay with us.